Hello everyone and welcome back to Basics with Himang. So in today's video, we will try to understand all the major investment options available in India and how to go about them. सारे investment options हम एक के बाद एक समझेंगे. So just to give you guys a quick snippet, so here are the key major investment options available in India. So before we further go and discuss all of them, so let us try to understand कि investment का मतलब क्या होता है. So investment is basically where we actually put our money into to gain more in future. It could be either via growth or via more income. So let's begin. So the first category that we have is fixed income. So as the name is suggesting, the amount that we are going to get is usually predetermined and it is fixed. And it is dependent on the interest that we are going to earn and the timeline for which we are going to invest our money for. So अब इसके अंदर जो instruments आते हैं, they are like quite common. For example, you might have heard about FDs, right? Fixed deposits, and the next option that we have, they are called RDs, recurring deposit, wherein you instead of submitting or instead of investing a fixed amount at this beginning, which is usually done in fixed deposits, we kind of invest some small portion of money in regular intervals, which are called your recurring deposits. And the last one that we have is provident fund. So they are like one of the safest options available in India. However, the returns that we get from these instruments are quite low compared to other investment categories that we have. So that is the case, and like they are ideal or they are considered ideal from a security point of view. So if you want to keep our money safe and we may need it later on, so these options are considered the safest option. And whenever we want, we can just pull our money out later on. So second category that we have is called market linked. So here the market is stock market that we are referring to. So all these instruments that we have in market linked category, they are usually in line to what is happening in the market. For instance, the famous examples that we have is mutual fund stocks. So all the investment or all the money that we are going to invest, so they are directly or indirectly linked to market. And these instruments are worthy of higher returns. However, they come at a cost of higher risks as well. So the next category that we have is government scheme. So there are various savings instruments under this category. For example, we have National Pension Scheme (NPS), we have Sukanya Smriti, and we also have senior citizen savings schemes. So basically, these instruments they are available to promote savings among citizens, right? And but this comes at a cost of a high lock-in period. अब lock-in period का मतलब क्या होता है? So the time for which we need to keep our money invested. So that is usually quite high. It's in the range of 10 years, 15 years. However, they are considered most ideal from retirement perspective. The next category that we have is gold. And under gold, there are numerous investment instruments. For example, we can have gold in physical form, we can have gold in digital form. And there is another investment option which is called sovereign gold bond, which is basically a government-backed investment option issued by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of Government of India. And subscribers, they get an interest payment and periodic intervals along with the comfort of appreciation and price of gold. However, this has been discontinued by RBI. So the next category that we have is real estate. So under real estate, there are various instruments that we can have as an investment option. For example, we can buy lands, we can buy plots, apartments, any commercial project. And there is one very interesting instrument under this real estate category, which is called REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. So basically, these are the major companies who are engaged in either operating or financing or maintaining a real estate project, which is an income generating asset. So the last category that we have is emerging or high risk. So as the name is suggesting, so they are quite volatile in nature and most of the times they are not regulated by any entity or authority. For example, we have cryptos, right, or which we call virtual currencies. So you might have heard about bitcoins or Ethereum. So these are called cryptocurrencies. So they are quite volatile in nature and they change in value quite rapidly compared to any other instruments that we have discussed so far. Another major instrument under this category is called small case. So small case क्या होता है? Basically, it is a pool of or the basket of stocks or ETFs representing an idea. It could be an objective, it could be a theme or a strategy. For example, we can have a sectoral small case representing, let's say, FMCG industry. So all the stocks in that particular FMCG basket would be your FMCG stocks. So now we have gone through all the major investment options that we have available in India. अब इनमें से कौन सा investment option that we should go for? अब इसका आंसर I would not be in a position to tell you. So this is something that you need to ask yourself. However, I can help you how to go about it. So there are major three things that you need to ask yourself. The first one is, what is the risk comfort that you have? So basically, how much risk you are willing to take for this. Second, what is the timeline that you are considering? For example, आप जो amount invest करने वाले हो, वो आप amount कितने time तक invest करना चाहते हो? It could be a year, it could be 5 years, it could be 6 months, or it could be very short duration, let's say 10 days. So that is something that you need to find clarity on. And the last one, which is quite major one, is the goal. Why are you investing this money, right? So you need to have a clear-cut understanding on these 3 points. Once you have that, I believe you would be in a position to take a better decision. Just ensure one thing, that कोई भी investment option आप choose करोगे, ensure that the returns that you are going to get has to beat the inflation, because inflation would or it will erode most of the returns in future. So kindly ensure that returns that you are expecting should be beating inflation. So that is something that I will leave you with. And before I end this video, I would like to give you one pro tip. So till the time you actually decide, okay, this is the investment option that I'm going with. So tab tak kya kare, right? I don't expect you guys to keep your money in savings account, because that is only giving you 3% of annual interest rate. So that is very less. So एक काम कर सकते हैं, and I think it would help you generate minimum 7 to 8% of returns, annual returns. अब क्या कर सकते हैं, if you have any senior citizen in your family, so you can do one thing, you can ask them to open an FD, because for senior citizens the FD interest rate, they are in the range of 8%, 9%, which is way above what we are getting in normal savings account interest rate, which is your 3%. So वहीं से हमको 5-6% का अल्फा मिल जाता है, right? So you can have an FD open by a senior citizen and you can make yourself a nominee. इससे क्या होगा, आपका money will stay invested, earning 8 to 9% annual interest rate compared to savings account, until the time you find clarity कि हाँ, this is where I want to invest my money into. So once you have found that, then you can rotate your capital from FD to your selective investment option. I hope you liked today's video, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.